What's going on, YouTube fam? It's your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of Hood Tales, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. It's free. It helps us get the video out there. Definitely watch this video to the end so you can hear the full story and all the details in the case. For my day one fam, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Oh yeah, feel free to share the channel with your peoples. Everybody is welcome. With that being said, let's get right into the story. If you talk to some old heads, a lot of them will say things changed from back in the day when they were younger. The way the world is, the way men and women carry themselves, they talk about a sense of community back in the day. You could discipline somebody else's child if they were doing wrong. You could call out a person if you felt they wronged you or somebody in the community. And the main thing they speak on is how back then, even if it was beef between men and it went to a certain point, women and kids were off limits. If you hurt either or, then you will be dealt with accordingly. But we are far removed from that time. And if you come from a certain environment, it's a universal law to mind your business. And the saying, if it don't apply, then let it fly. Meaning, if it's not you or your peoples, leave the situation alone. In some places, people could see a child getting hands put on them in a way that's far from just simple discipline, or a man putting hands on a woman. And a person who sees that will keep bopping like nothing ever happened. It's not because they don't care. It's because we live in a world where stepping in and being a good Samaritan or hero can get you hurt. It's been a debate online for years now, with women feeling like men don't protect them no more, and men defending themselves by saying because some women carry themselves in a certain way, whether being disrespectful, jumping in a man's face, or saying something slick out their mouth. They feel like if they see a man yoking up a woman, then they probably bought it on themselves. But some are still old school and go by that old law that no matter what, a man should never cross that line with a woman. But nowadays, unfortunately, just trying to help a person can cost you everything. And on this episode of Hood Tales, we'll be taking it right outside of Fort Lauderdale to Lauderdale Lakes, Florida, to discuss the case of a man who tried to help a woman in Walmart and it cost him his life. Back in 2023, 41-year-old Bastine was living a happy and fulfilled life in the Sunshine State of Florida. Originally from the Big Apple, New York City, Theory had relocated to Florida back in 2016 to be closer to family. Described as outgoing, a happy man who always had a smile on his face, who loved to be around family. Stated to have the kind of energy people gravitated to, and Theory was a protector. He would help anybody in trouble. More importantly, he was a father to a daughter back in New York and a 4-month-old son him and his girlfriend shared together. Excited to have a junior, he doted on his son and was looking forward to the future with his girlfriend, Makia. Outside of family, Theory loved music and entertainment and even had started a record label, hoping one day to make a lifelong dream come true by joining the Navy. All he had to do was get a face tattoo removed, in which he was working on it. When not kicking it with his family, showing off his cooking skills in the kitchen, Theory, or T as he was called by friends and loved ones, was probably somewhere trying to help a person in need. As it was stated, the man had a big heart and didn't want to see anybody hurting or struggling. It seemed his life was set. He found his purpose within himself and his family. T had the kind of life most men dreamed of. But on a spring day in 2023, everything would change. On May 2nd of that year, Theory, his girlfriend, and their baby boy was running some errands. They headed to a local Walmart in Lauderdale Lakes. The plan was just to grab a few items and go on with the rest of their day. While in the store, a man walked in fast. It seemed he was on a mission. At the time, 22-year-old Tyrone Sterling. But Tyrone wasn't just a regular customer though. He was an employee at the store and was coming to confront a young lady. who also worked at the store, who we will call Stacy for the sake of the story. Some say Tyrone and Stacy were in a relationship or dating, but this day it wasn't love in the air, but anger. Tyrone approached the young lady aggressively and told her, like, yo, let me see your phone. When she asked why, he grabbed her up in an attempt to grab it and told Stacy, show him her text messages right now. Theory saw the drama unfolding and told his girlfriend he wanted to go help, but he didn't know if the guy, speaking in reference to Tyrone, had a gun on him or not. His girlfriend, Micaiah, who was holding their son, begged him not to walk over. Instead, the couple yelled out for help, thinking Walmart security would come over. But as Tyrone started putting hands on Stacy and it got worse, Theory couldn't just sit back and watch. Help wasn't coming, so he stepped into the situation. As Tyrone turned his attention to Theory, the two men started tussling, and Stacy started running away. Somewhere in the mix, Tyrone upped the gun. Micaiah begged the man and stated, please don't shoot. I have his son right here in my hands. Before seconds later, multiple shots went off, and people started fleeing the store. Local police were called to at first what was a call of an active shooter. They responded to the scene to find Theory suffering from multiple gunshot wounds, and unfortunately, he wouldn't survive his injuries. As witnesses gave their accounts of what happened and a description of the shooter, managers gave police a name and address, and not long after, Tyrone was caught in a nearby apartment complex. He tried to run, but he was quickly taken into custody, charged with attempted robbery and first-degree hit. But for Theory's family, the damage was already done, and unfortunately, his act of kindness turned fatal. Witnesses were stunned. A man had lost his life in Walmart for simply trying to help a young lady. But Micaiah was devastated. She lost her child's father right in front of her and their child. She spoke out about the pain and anger she felt, stating she looked Tyrone right in his eyes, begged him not to shoot, but he did. She also spoke out about Theory's reservations of going to help the young lady, but being the type of man he was, he couldn't just sit back and watch another man assault a woman. She felt anger. His son, who he loved so much, would never see his father again. At Tyrone's first court date, he showed no remorse. He sat with no emotions while listening to the charges against him. Theory's family questioned Walmart, its policies on safety and security, and were frustrated. An employee was able to assault another employee for minutes without no one intervening, causing Theory to try to stop it, and his act of bravery cost him his life. They filed a lawsuit. As of now, Tyrone is still awaiting his day in court, and the case hasn't made its way to trial yet. Rest in peace to Theory. I send my prayers and condolences to his girlfriend who had to witness that, and his kids who have to grow up without their father. This is the kind of situation people talk about. A man who in some eyes did the right thing by helping a stranger who was getting hurt. But with that, he sacrificed his own life. And now his family has to suffer. Tyrone crashed all the way out. But he is the kind of dude that the old heads don't mention. That's why things changed. And most people choose to mind their business. Because nowadays, dudes will do 100 years over a woman or you getting in their way. Some men are emotional and act off impulse. And instead of you making it home to your girl and son, now your family has to be the ones hurting. But I'm going to end this one with a few questions. For my ladies and fellas. First, for my fellas out there, what would you do in a situation like this? You see a man putting his hands on a woman in front of you. Help or keep it moving. And for my ladies, if this was your man, even if you feel men don't protect women no more, would you let him approach a situation like that, knowing you have a family that depends on him being here? Let me know your answers and your thoughts about the situation in the comments. And remember, we gotta succeed, not to fail, so we won't be just another hood tale. Yeah, man, it's a terrible story. Rest in peace, that man. I definitely send my prayers to his family. But y'all don't be shy in the comments. Y'all let me know what y'all think about the situation. I definitely appreciate you if you made it to the end. Y'all already know it's all love, fam. It's another episode of Hood Tales. It's your boy Tony 2 times. I'm out.